Kent State has updated their testing methods to see how the university is attempting to stop the spread of the virus.
And in today's rundown, the Division of Student Affairs is kicking off another season of their podcast by celebrating Black History Month.
The American University of Paris held a visual for Kent State alum Michael J. Gallagher. Hear about the details coming up.
Is doing, and
Netflix is looking to animate a children's book written by the Oscar-winning actress Lupita Nyong'o. We have the latest. TV2 News starts right now.
This is TV2 News.
Good Friday evening, Portage County. Thank you for choosing to end your week with us. Tonight, we'll start with an email sent from the university providing new information about preventing COVID-19. I'm Erin Sullivan.
And I'm Alexandria Manthey.
And with the case numbers going down and case numbers growing, our own Baylee Sweitzer has all of the latest updates on different ways to test. Baylee.
Thanks, guys. While case numbers are decreasing here in Ohio in Portage County, health experts say individuals should not let their guard down. A major part of that is getting tested for the virus. COVID testing methods are expanding, but only a number are available in Kent. Almost all of these are self-administered swab tests, like ones you might get at CVS. However, the difference takes place in the lab.
So as we learn more about COVID and perform testing, manufacturers and scientists are coming up with improved ways to try to get test results more.
Tests like the swab test, the molecular test looks at the actual virus molecules, and the rapid antigen test looks for the proteins made by the virus. Many people have had problems with testing, whether that be with the discomfort or the wait. And in Kent, it costs nothing to get a COVID test, and almost all testing centers require appointments. All CVS locations in Kent provide self-administered swab tests, and DeWeese Health Center provides both swab tests done by the physician and the patient. Experts say that though COVID infections are decreasing, new COVID variants are to be on everybody's radar. Reporting for TV2 News, I'm Baylee Sweitzer.
Recently, the CDC issued new guidance on face coverings, suggesting that people should consider double masking for added protection.
They also said that people no longer need to quarantine for 14 days after exposure. The CDC is now saying that 10 days is enough. Of course, they continue to recommend social distancing and avoid going out. Hundreds of people in Portage County, including Kent school staff, are having their appointments for the COVID-19 vaccine pushed back due to a delay in transit from winter weather conditions. Vaccines are stuck in southern Ohio and Memphis, Tennessee. In fact, this delay is happening all across the U.S. More than 2,000 vaccine sites are located in areas without power. CNN's Mandy Gaither reports.
Across the central and southern plains, snow and record low temperatures continue to plague Americans. The extreme weather's also impacting parts of the country not directly affected by the storms by causing delays in COVID-19 vaccine shipments and deliveries.
Obviously, it's an issue. It's been slowed down in some places, going to a grinding halt.
The weather could impact vaccine deliveries for the next 1 to 2 weeks, according to the CEO of an organization serving local health departments across the U.S. But the White House says they're doing everything they can to speed up the process.
We're also working with our partners to move up scheduled deliveries whenever possible and to surge shipment operations through the end of the week into the weekend. We're in conversation about extended hours and additional appointments to try and reschedule shots given the storm.
This map from FEMA shows states that have reported COVID-19 vaccination site closures due to the weather. They'll reschedule appointments once the storms have passed. The states in green aren't reporting any issues, but FEMA says the states highlighted in yellow are experiencing limited impact.
We're going to just have to make up for it, namely do double time when this thing clears up.
UPS says it has extensive contingency plans to complete vaccine deliveries, and drivers are still making deliveries and pickups where conditions allow them to stay safe. FedEx says vaccine deliveries are getting priority, but the weather is impacting much of their network. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The COVID-19 vaccine may now be available at your local Walgreens pharmacy in Ohio. People older than 75 are eligible to get the vaccine and must make an appointment in advance. Walk-ins are not accepted. To see if your nearest Walgreens is providing the vaccines, you can visit the Walgreens website and search for the COVID-19 appointment schedule.
3 updated maps showing the status of the COVID-19 pandemic in Ohio were released on Thursday, showing case rates in the state remain high but continue to drop. Along with the color map that's been released weekly since summer, the state began releasing 2 other maps late last year detailing cases by county and how many patients are filling intensive care units. This effort is to better show the public the spread of the virus. And with this weather we're having, I seriously feel like we are in Disney's Frozen.
I'm absolutely obsessed with it, Alex. Odin, what do you got for us? Can you give us some good news about the snow?
Thanks, guys. I definitely can. Let's get into the single-digit temperatures you will need to look out for tonight. So currently in Kent right now, it is 23 degrees. Feels like 50 out there right now. That's really strange. 50. Okay. I can assure you, it doesn't feel like 50 out there. Probably feels like 20. Probably in 15 degrees or out there right now. Dew point 32.7 with east-southeast winds at 5 miles per hour, visibility at 10 miles. Not too bad for a night tonight if you want to enjoy that frozen dream. So as we look across our area right here, we can see that was actually a past radar image. Anyway, let's get into tonight's what I can tell you about the radar is that there are some few snow showers in places, just an FYI. But anyway, for your tonight's 7-day, 21 degrees, cloudy. It's going to continue like that all throughout the night, 14:10, towards your midnight and 5 a.m. That's all I have for now. Stick with us to hear more on the winter storm coming next week.
The American University of Paris held a memorial service for alumni Michael Gallagher II this week. Gallagher died in December, a 2019 communications study graduate at Kent State. He was studying in Paris, pursuing his graduate's degree. To honor Michael, friends and loved ones have started a social media campaign where they share memories of Michael with the hashtag #MichaelMonday. Family has established a scholarship in his honor. For information on how to donate, visit the link at the bottom of your screen.
A student at the University of Akron has been repeatedly harassed online after appearing in a wanted poster at the Portage County Sheriff's Office. Imani Simmons missed a court date for driving with a suspended license, and she did not receive any information for the court hearing. Simons and 13 other people were posted online in an attempt to prevent further backlogging in warrants. The Division of Student Affairs is doing their 3rd season of their podcast, so stay with us to hear more about their journey.
I really believe that this podcast is just a small example of that and helping to contribute to that positiveness around.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride.
Wow.
And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
We might root for different teams, but we all respect the game. And we can all root for each other when we wear a mask. Mask up, America.
I feel like her heartbeat is like same speed as mine. And I think we have this like deep connection, this heart connection in her heart, that there's room for me and Mom. When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer. It's a sensory thing. It's a thing with Asperger's.
She's really good with Anya. I've seen adults react to my daughter when she has meltdowns, like she's from a different planet. And this little animal just sat next to my child and was just like, you know, it's gonna be cool. She's my superhero. Good job, kitty cat. When we adopted Lucky, we discovered all the wonderful things that make her unique.
Lucky's a little bit of a lot of things, but mostly she's pure love.
Welcome back. The Division of Student Affairs is kicking off their third season of their podcast by celebrating and bringing more awareness to Black History Month. Kelsey Drennen has more for you on this topic. Kelsey?
Thanks, Alex. If you're wanting to learn more about or celebrate Black History Month today, you may want to tune in to Kent's DSA podcast. I sat down with the staff writer for the Division of Student Affairs to talk more about their Black History Month podcast that is airing right now. Matt Lupica is a part of the DSA podcast that runs from 7 in the morning to midnight every month to inform students about resources and support that Kent State has to offer. With Black History Month taking place in February, they thought that this topic would be a great way to kick off their first episode of the third season.
I felt it was a very appropriate topic to cover for February. And, you know, there's a lot of things that my main goal with this podcast when I proposed it was to bridge the communications gap. And I think that's exactly what this podcast is doing. And that's just a small example of it here in February with Black History Month.
He talked about how well he thinks Kent State is doing their part in celebrating and informing the students and staff about Black History Month this February.
I really believe that this podcast is just a small example of that and helping to contribute to that positiveness around Black History Month, Kent State University, all the great students and everybody involved with the college.
He then went on to talk about what Kent State and what we all can do as a whole to take part in further celebrating Black history.
I think just raising awareness of it. You know, there's a lot of history, and it's just something I feel is very important as we move forward, not only at Kent, but in this world. Everybody stay positive and continue to embrace, you know, the past and the present and the future.
If you want to listen to this podcast and many of their other stories, you can find them online at the bottom of the screen.
Thanks, Kelsey. Kent's very own Davie Elementary School has received a Purple Star Award for promoting military friendliness. Davie is one of the 31 schools to receive this honor. The school instilled staff to help students and families who have connections with the U.S. military. The school will receive a special Purple Star Award to display to remind them of the military families they have helped. And one of the most restrictive abortion laws in the country is Ohio's heartbeat bill that still has yet to take effect. Women who have had trouble accessing health care even believed that abortions were completely illegal in Ohio. Current Ohio law prohibits after 20 weeks gestation, but the heartbeat bill would decrease that to only 6 weeks.
Thanks, guys. Now looking into what it currently feels like in Kent right now. Oh, actually, sorry, guys. Friday's weather headlines. So we have PM lows tonight are going to drop into the single digits. We are predicting tonight's low will be 9 degrees Fahrenheit. 9. That's crazy. Another big blockbuster winter storm is coming up next weekend as we head into the early part of next week. We'll get into that in just a moment. Highs in the 40s for the end of the week. Big warm-up coming up. Well, I wouldn't say too big, but it's something. All right, anyway, currently in Kent and across Ohio, it is like in the 20s. It's starting to come down, like I said. 21 in Kent, 21 in Cleveland, 18 Sandusky, 24 in Youngstown. If you notice that towards in the cities, it's slightly warmer, but out in the countryside, you might be experiencing even lower, slightly lower temperatures. That's the whole heat island effect. Anyway, and if you're near Sandusky, it's colder because of the lake wind. And across our state, you know, Akron at 22, Steubenville at 24, Columbus at 23. Ooh, Cincinnati, a balming 27 right now. So as you can see, the temperatures are starting to get down. Now let's get into our big weather headline, which is our winter storm that's coming up next week. It's going to be heading in towards your Monday and Tuesday, so watch out, folks, Monday and Tuesday. That's the early projections, but here's some early projections on how many inches will potentially fall, 2 to 4. Now, I will say it could become more because of the lake. You know, this could generate some lake effect. If there is any lake effect, it might be towards Canada, but we'll be watching that very closely as the low pressure system will be coming from Texas all the way here. And please pray for the people of Texas. They're dealing with that terrible, terrible power outage situation. And another storm like that, it definitely hurts them very badly. Pray for them. Anyway, here's your 7-day outlook. We are going to be dealing with some cloudy skies towards your Saturday and Sunday, but then Monday is when you have to be on alert for the snow. Get those snow shovels ready, folks, for your Tuesday as well. But then that's when we will be dealing with our highs going up into the 40s, and we'll deal with some more snow as the temperatures go down towards the end of the week. That's all I have for now. That wraps up my portion of this weather forecast. Stay with us till the end of the show for my final recap.
President Joe Biden delivered a virtual speech to the Munich Security Conference earlier today. His focus was ensuring an understanding with other world leaders. Biden spoke on many key talking points, including reversing the former administration's cap on U.S. troops stationed in Germany and announcing efforts to host an Earth Day summit with top world leaders.
46 also made a point to call out Russian and Chinese government officials, emphasizing how strengthened U.S.-European relations can combat any attempts by the countries to undermine transatlantic unity. His overall message, the U.S. is ready to re-engage in international affairs.
We will be back, and I'm a man of my word. America is back. I speak today as President of the United States at the very start of my administration, and I'm sending a clear message to the world. America is back. The partnership between Europe and the United States, in my view, is and must remain the cornerstone of all that we hope to accomplish in the 21st century.
After the insurrection at the nation's Capitol building, there has been large razor-wired fencing surrounding the building. Now police are suggesting that the fence be kept up until September due to the ongoing threats towards lawmakers. Republican lawmakers are urging Nancy Pelosi to remove the fences and send National Guard troops home. But Capitol Police say vast improvements need to be made before any decisions are made. Calling all Pokemon trainers, here's the special opportunity you'll get this weekend to catch them all.
Could they get the win in their home opener? I'll have the recap of the game when TV2 returns.
You've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Donate stuff, create jobs.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Good evening, Kent State and all of Portage County. I'm Connor Mills. For the first time in 346 days, the Kent State women's lacrosse team will make their return to Ditt Stadium. That's where we begin. After their 2020 season was cut short due to COVID-19, the Kent State women's lacrosse team took to the field for the first time in 346 days today at Ditt Stadium. The Flashes fell short against the Fresno State Bulldogs, losing the matchup 20-11. Abby Jones led the Flashes with 4 goals and 1 assist. Kenzie Skylar also had a hat trick with 3 goals on the afternoon. The team will be back in action on February 27th when they host Marquette University. The mania in college basketball will continue to live on this March. The NCAA announced that they will be allowing a limited number of fans to attend all rounds of March Madness tournament. The capacity is set at 25% with proper social distancing. The 25% will consist of essential staff members, family members, and coaches. The NCAA also announced that all games will be taking place in Indiana, with the majority of the games being played in Indianapolis. The Kent State men's basketball team will be back in action this weekend as they host Eastern Michigan tomorrow. Kent State is coming into the weekend with a record of 10-4 in conference play, currently in 3rd place behind Toledo and Akron. This game will serve as the 2nd annual Autism Awareness Game. Players will be seen wearing autism awareness uniforms that were designed by student Trenton Johnston. Instead of the players' names on the back of their jerseys, the phrase 1 in 54 will be written. Tip-off is scheduled for 2 p.m. and you can watch the game on ESPN3. Los Angeles Lakers hosted the Brooklyn Nets last night, and the Lakers were without Anthony Davis, and Kyrie Irving made his return. Despite Irving coming back into the lineup, it was the Brooklyn Bomb Squad that made their impact felt at the Staples Center last night. Former Cleveland Cavalier and 3-point shooting champion Joe Harris was connecting on almost all of his shots, hitting 6 for 7 from the field and adding 21 points. The one bright spot for the Lakers was yet another remarkable milestone reached by the King of Akron himself. James became the third player in NBA history to score over 35,000 points in his career. Brooklyn had no signs of going to sleep tonight as they continued to torch the Lakers from behind the arc, shooting 46.2%. James Harden led the Nets in scoring, providing 23 points and 11 assists, and Kyrie Irving also provided a solid 16 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. The Nets advanced to a record of 19 wins and 12 losses, while the Lakers fall to a record of 22-8. That's all I have for sports. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at TV2 KSU Sports for more Kent State athletic coverage this weekend. Back to you guys at the desk.
Hear how Pokemon Go is giving players the opportunity to catch them all at a special event this weekend when TV2 returns.
I wouldn't do that. What are you doing? What are you looking for?
Hey guys, guess what? I gotta tell Michaela. What? Oh my gosh!
That you would not believe. What?
What? Oh, the blurb's on at 9 on Tuesdays.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
Netflix wants to animate a children's book written by Lupita Nyong'o. The Oscar-winning actress announced on Twitter that her book, Solway, is being adapted into a movie. Solway tells the story of a young girl with dark skin who goes on a magical journey to learn about self-esteem and true beauty. The book was a New York Times bestseller. There is still no word on who will star in the film or when Netflix plans to release it.
If you want to be the very best, like no one ever was, here's your chance. Pokemon Go is hosting a massive global event this weekend. The Kanto Tour kicks off tomorrow at 9 a.m. Players get to choose between the classic red and green versions of the game, and for the first time, they'll have the opportunity to catch all 150 original Pokemon in a single day. There has also been special bonuses and challenges being offered, but you have only until 9 tomorrow to catch them all.
Well, Erin, will you be catching them all tomorrow?
You know, probably not, since there's so much snow. I'm probably going to be catching some sleep in
Oh,
my bed, so we're definitely not going to be doing that.
Yes.
Yeah, but Odin, will we see any more snow, maybe some increase of the temperatures? What's going on?
Well, we will be seeing some decrease in temperatures tonight as we head towards the teens. Not teens, the single digits. So as you can see here, it is going to be the conditions are going to become favorable for the potential winter storm that will be coming in next week. That's all I have for you today. Please make sure you are grabbing those snow shovels. Be prepared. It is coming our way.
Will do, Odin. Well, that's all we have for you today. Make sure to get your snow shovels ready. And that's all today for our newscast, of course.
For updates on all these stories and more, visit www.kentwired.com and follow us on Twitter and Instagram @KentWired. I'm Alexandria Manthey.
And I'm Erin Sullivan. Have a great night, Portage County.
Wow.
There was a time in my life where I was extremely homesick. I decided that I needed a pet. When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. He jumped up and kissed me and jumped right into my arms. I immediately went up to the volunteers at the shelter and said, I want him. He's got to come home with me. Now I'm anything but lonely. Every day with Turtle is a perfect day and keeps me company when I'm doing schoolwork. I like it when he jumps up on the table too. He is a veggie thief. He's an incredible companion and my best friend. Can't say that I've met anybody that doesn't love him too. When I adopted Turtle, I discovered all the things that make him unique. He's a little bit of a lot of things, but mostly he's all pure love.
We'd do anything for kids. Yet 1 in 6 children in the U.S. struggle with hunger. Help end childhood hunger near you. Learn how at feedingamerica.org.